Hi guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to make a shaped card. So I have Lawn Fawn's stitched ovals, and one of my cats is in here and I think she wants to go out now, so I might have to stop this in a minute. I have the largest of the small set that I used for the dies and for the cuts, and I used just some box standard cardstock. This is just white cardstock, and what I did was with one of them I've scored it just so we can create this little hinge that will put the card or hold, make the card up. So I'll get that done when we get there. I'm also using Simon Says Stamps November 2022 card kit stamp set, which is full of thanks, and I'm using this one of the main images here, and I actually really loved the sentiment that is in the center anyway. You can change out the sentiment, so that's not an issue, but I actually really like that one, so I'm going to use that sentiment as well. I then have the stencils, so we're going to do some really nice easy blending to get some color on, and there is a right and a wrong way to these because I ask me how I know that, but there's actually like a number etched into it, and if you can read the number then it's the right way up. So this is the one we need for today's card. And then what I decided to do was I'm going to use some archival coffee. Now I'm using the Tim Holtz stamp platform because I don't know how inky this is, and these are also new stamps. So yeah, oh, my cat's cleaning up. So I'm going to use archival in coffee. I thought the nice brown autumnal tones would work nicely with this whole set. And even though we're in winter now, if you guys saw my, well, I'm not sure if I'm attaching this to the end of the unboxing video or whether I'm going to do this as a separate video, but either way, the unboxing video I explained that obviously just things happen and it got here later than I expected, but that's okay. So what I'm also going to do is I'm going to use some Stampin' Up! Ink. I've got loads of them. I thought, why not drag them out? I'm using soft suede as my main brown colour for the images, and then I'm using some colours from the Regal collection. They have sort of families of colour, so I'm using the Regals, and I've got Old Olive, Shaded Spruce, Garden Green, Crushed Curry and Pumpkin Pie. They're all in that sort of autumnal colour tone, so I thought that would work nicely. And all I have to do is remember which green I've used for which leaf, because there's 3 different types of leaf. So let's see how far we get with that. And then what I have done is, hold on one second, sorry about that. So I'm going to start with the stamping of the image itself. So like I say, I've got my stamp platform here. This is the sentiment I'm going to use, but I'll do that in a minute. And I've already sort of laid out where I want the stamp on the oval and got it ready just to save a bit of time, because you know me, I waffle. And I've got it on the clear side, so if you can read the word clear, then your platform is in, the lid is in the right way, because this actually comes out. So let's see how well we can stamp the old with this. I don't know how much ink's in here actually, so we'll see how this works out. I'm hoping fairly well, and the reason I'm using archival is because it's a nice like an oil based ink, so it means it'll sit on top of the paper rather than just seeping straight in, kind of like a dye ink would. And hopefully this will prevent any sort of blending, natural blending, when I put the dye inks on, so the Stampin' Up! Inks. And the same goes if you've got distress inks and you've got archival. Use your archival, I can't talk, use your archival, let that dry for a second or two, and then get it when you use your distress inks, it's not going to sort of blend and try and blend into the main image. It's a more permanent ink, I suppose that's what I wanted to say. So I've just stamped that twice, and that's looking very nice. Just get a bit of welly down that corner. That looks good, that's good enough for me. Oh, no, yeah. Right, so I'm going to just take this out. Oh, no, I'm not. Before I do that, I'm actually going to stamp my sentiment. Let me just, it's not the right way to clean it, but no, we're just going with it. Properly clean it up later. And I'm going to line up my sentiment while I've got it in here, and get that stamped as well. You could do them at the same time, they're the same stamp company, so you could do that, but I just like doing them separately. I just feel like I get a better stamp that way. I think that looks pretty good. Probably have it a little higher. That should work. So again, I'm using my archival, I don't know why I can't say that word today, but to get this stamped on here. Isn't that nice? Such a nice font as well. Right, lovely. Now I can take it out of here. So for this, I am going to, I think I might bring in my mat. Crash. I just bring this thing back in, just because it does help to hold the paper in place without you having to stick anything to it. And this is, for those who don't know, this is my waffle flower media mat that I cut apart. Don't all hate me, but it works really nicely for me. So just gonna get that out of the way. Right, so I'm gonna start with some of the greens, and I just need to remember what order I'm using these greens, because or for which leaf I'm using them for, if that makes sense. So I'm going to grab my stencil, and I also have these little dauber things, and that's what I'm going to use to ink these bad boys up. Right, so let's get that out of the way. So let's start at the top one. Now these have like there's like an etched mark, so you know that that's for one set of colours, that's for another, and that's for another. And I know it's hard to see on here, but there is actually like a little, almost like a score mark, if you like. So I'm just going to line up the first ones. So for this one, I can see that I've got two different, I've got two different leaves, sorry, and I've got the center of my flower. So start with the center. I'm going to use soft suede, and let's just see if I can find, I should have done this before. Just find a I knew I had one. I have labelled some of them, so I'm just going to use this to ink up the center of my little flower. Just like that. It's my soft suede one. I don't need the soft suede for anything else, so I'm just going to pop it away. And then I'm going to use I think for this bigger leaf I'm going to use old olive. Oops. So old olive, I was sure, yep, I had one of those. So this sort of chunkier looking leaf. Right, and I will need that in a minute. Oops. And then for the next leaf here, let me just see. I think I might use if I can. No, I'm going to go with garden green. Whoops. Decisions. Right, so, and I do have a garden green, so that's good. Just make sure it's lined up still. This is very easy to do. Nice garden green. Right, lovely. So that is all three of those done. How easy is that? Let me zoom you in a bit more. Oh, that's better. You can see what I'm doing now. So then we're going to simply move up the stencil to this section here. So I decided that this leaf was the garden green, so while I've got it here, I'm just going to ink that up. My other leaf I'm going to use shaded spruce. So let's just find another. I don't have mossy meadow anymore. Oh, I do have mossy meadow. Yeah, let's just go with this. I don't know what colour this is, but we're just going to wing it. It is better if you can label these things. So get this leaf done, and this is a brighter green, but nice, very nice. And then for my little berry things that are on here, I actually thought they were grapes to start with, and then I realised that obviously it couldn't be grapes because, you know, it's that just wouldn't make any sense. So don't appear to have one of these, so we're going to just use one I've got already and just ink up those little berry things. Don't know what we're calling them. So again, you've got some nice easy colouring, and then the last bit, just move these over a bit, will be the flower and the larger leaves again. So I've got some little berry things down here, so let's get them done. And then my large leaf, I think, was the old olive. So go back to old olive. But you see how easy this is? It's quick and easy and bish bash bosh. Even though this is probably going to be a longer video, sorry. And then I've got crushed curry for the, and that's looking a bit mank, but it's old, like me. And then just some crushed curry, if I can find it. Or not, we'll use another one. Right. And I do love this colour. This colour is one of my favourite sort of yellowy colours. It's a rich more of an orangey yellow, if that makes sense. And I think I need some re-anchors. That'll work. Right. So that's the colouring down. Now that's, for me, is the simplest colouring in the world when you're doing anything like this. Just how quick and simple is that? I will just grab something, I think, for this, just to colour that bit in, because that obviously isn't in the stencil, right? Don't forget to clean your stencils as well. So let's just get these back in there and out the way. So I think for that, actually I might just leave it like that. We're trying to keep things simple, right? That's the aim of some of these cards at the moment. The thing that I do want to do though, which I forgot to leave out, was with the soft suede, I'm just going to very carefully go around the edges just to give it a bit of something else on the card, otherwise it's very plain. And also maybe I would have used a cream colour cardstock instead. So let's just gives it that little edge. Right, there we go. The other nice thing about doing this is that it just gives it that little edge that maybe you didn't have. So yeah, I'm just going to tidy up and I'll be back in a second. Right, I'm back. So all I've done now is I have the back of the card, or what would become the back of the card, and like I say, all I did was I scored. Being oval, it's a little trickier to get that to line up on the edge of your scoreboard, but I just kind of worked with that, and I actually placed the stamp on there so I could see better alignment. And then once I had it in place, I just made a score line. So we've got this little lip that we're going to adhere to the back of the card. So all I've done is got some double-sided tape on the back, like so. And the easiest way to do this is to line this up in your hands. You'll feel when those two pieces kind of lock together, like so, because of their shape. And then once you have that, you can also use your desk to name them. Once you have that, then you just stick it down. I will burnish it just to help that adhesive bond with the other piece of paper, because this is, although it's just inexpensive white cardstock, it's still quite thick. So once you've done that, your card's done. How easy is that? And I miss shaped cards. I forget to do shaped cards. So this was kind of neat to do, especially that I feel like the stamp from the collection just fits so well in that space, in like an oval space. So I hope this was fun for you. I hope you try a shaped card, and yeah, let's bring the old stuff back, you know, shaped cards and kinetic cards, and I know there's lots of product out there now, but some of those really old ones, let's bring those back. Yeah, or let me know in the comments what kind of one of the really old school ones that you want to see. And I will put that on my list to do for you guys and show you how to make them. So until next time, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this. Happy winter season, because we're now there. And I'm very grateful for all of you sticking around and watching all my videos. So thank you very much. And until next time, bye for now. Bye.